Hello and welcome. In this video, we are going to explore Android Studio and the project structure for your Android app development. So the goal of this video is I will teach you how to navigate through Android Studio IDE. Remember that Android Studio is a tool. You need to learn how to use the tool before jumping into the coding section. And second is you need to understand the project structure. So let's get started. Let's start with the creating new project in Android Studio. Here I have already opened Android Studio. On top right corner you can see there is a button new project. Click on this button. A window will pop up. Here you have to select empty activity. There are many other templates which you can select in case if you want, but for a beginner I will recommend click on the empty activity. This will create an empty Jetpack compose activity. So click on empty activity, click on next button, and then here we have to enter all the details of our new project. So in the project name I have wrote hello world applications, and in the package name, so package name is a unique identifier of your application, Android application. Here I can enter anything such as com.devesh.helloworld-app, and then next is the project location. So in project location you have to select the directory where you want to save this project. So I have selected this directory. You can select any folder or directory which you want. Next is the minimum SDK. So minimum SDK is the minimum version which your app is compatible with. So here it is API version 24, which means Android 7.0. So this application will be compatible with the minimum Android 7.0 devices and above, which means Android 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 till 16, 17. All of those Android OS are compatible, whereas any older Android versions such as 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, those are not compatible with this application. So select minimum SDK whichever you want. Next is the build configuration language. In build configuration language there are two options available, Kotlin DSL and Groovy DSL. Both are good options, but I will select Kotlin DSL as it is the newer and latest one, and it is recommended also. After selecting this, click on the finish button. So now the project is loading, and sometimes we might see a security message that Microsoft Defender may affect IDE. You can click on the exclude folder to make sure your Android Studio runs little bit faster, because sometimes antivirus might interfere in the Gradle synchronization process. So this is our brand new Android app project in Android Studio. Now let me teach you the basics of how to navigate through the Android Studio. As you can see on the left side there is a project view, and you can click on this project folder which will enable you to see the project view. And this is our main activity.kts file. You can find this file in the project view. Go to app folder under Kotlin plus Java, click on the package name which is a unique identifier, and here is our main activity file, which as we can see it is here visible. Next you need to know is that if you want to see more option, you can scroll on the top left corner. There are 4-line dash icon. You can click on this icon, and then you can see there is a menu options which pop-ups. Now in Android Studio there are multiple tabs such as this project view tab, and then this build tab, and there are multiple other tabs. And let me quickly go through each and every tab and show you which might be helpful for you to navigate through the Android Studio. On left side corner there is a project view tab which I already shown. Next is a resource manager. So what resource manager does is you can add all the resources such as images, colors, layouts, other Mipmaps which are also images in XML format, file format. Then you can also add the strings variables such as app name, etc, etc. And there are many other resources such as animation, animator, navigator, which we will look into in the future, but not right now. Next is you can see there is a more tool window. You can click on this, and there are many other tabs which are available for you to explore. But as a beginner I will suggest click on the debug one, and once you debug the app, this tab is very helpful as it will show you all the warnings, information, and every log of your Android application. Next is the build tab on the bottom left corner. So build tab, this represents the build of your Android project. For example, if I click on the make project icon, the assemble app icon which is on the top right corner with the hammer, click on this icon and you will see our entire project is building. So build tab shows all the building events which are happening during the build process. Since we are building it for first time, it might take some time to build the applications. Once it is built, then it will show build successful message on the log. Next is the app quality insight, which you will not need right now. Second is the app log. This tab is known as Logcat. So the log tab shows all the log events. So in case if application crash or give errors during the runtime, then Logcat tab is very important because it will give you in-depth information about why your Android application crashed and what are other events happening in the Android application and many other things. Next is the terminal tab on the bottom left side. Here you can type any terminal command in case if you need it. But as a beginner, I don't think you might need it, but in future you might need it. Now let's look at the top right corner. Here you can see there are 3 icons. One icon is code icon, next is the split screen, and third is the design icon. So basically what this 3 icon does is, in case if you have any Jetpack compose UI or user interface in your Kotlin file, then you can see that user interface preview in the right side corner. As you can see here, this is the preview of this following Jetpack compose UI. So there are 3 options here. First is the code option, which will only show the code of the file. Second is the split screen option, which will show code on the left side and the UI preview on the right side. And third is the only design option, in which you will only see the design of your Jetpack compose. Most of the time I use the split screen as it is easier, or sometimes I use the code only in case if I have to deal with the code. Next is the notification icon, which as usual show you the notifications. Then there is the Gradle icon. So this icon will give you multiple options regarding the Gradle synchronization, such as test, debug, unit, and many others. In case if you want to execute a certain specific Gradle task, you can click on this button and then you can execute any other Gradle task such as debug, console, etc, etc. As a beginner, generally you won't need this, but in case if you're dealing with big Android app project, then having knowledge of Gradle synchronization is useful. Next tab is the device manager. So this is the device manager, in which you can create a virtual Android device, or you can also connect your physical device to your Android, and it will be visible here in the device manager. As of now, I have 2 virtual Android device in this device manager. In case if you want to create a brand new Android virtual device, then you can create on this add new device icon and then select create new virtual device. You can also select remote device, but I use virtual device as it is easier. You can create any virtual device such as Pixel 9, Pixel 8, Pixel 7, etc, etc. As of now, I have already created a virtual device here, which we will be using. And in case if you want to run this virtual device, simply click on the play icon. If you want to view the Android virtual device, then there is a separate tab known as running device. You can click on this tab and this will open up the Android virtual device which is currently running on your device. This is very helpful while debugging and testing your Android applications. Next is the chat window. So this chat window is a AI agent in the Android Studio, which help you to build Android application using AI. So there are agent tab as well as ask tab. So ask tab is as usual one-on-one chat application, which will help you to troubleshoot any error, or in case if you have any question on how to write the code, you can use the ask tab. Next is the agent tab. So agent, what it does is you can ask AI agent to do certain changes, and it will do the real-time changes on your Android application. Which means, for example, if I want to change the color of a button, all I have to do is simply type change the color of my button. AI agent will automatically change the color of my button as per to whatever prompt which I tell it. But since you are a beginner, so I will not recommend you to use AI in the initial phase. First learn the basic concept fundamentals and then outsource the boring labor work to the AI agent to write the Android application code. Now in case if you want to debug the application or you want to run the application, then you can select this debug icon. As you can see, there are 2 icons. One is the debug and then second is the run app icon. If you click on the debug icon, it will start Gradle build process, as you can see at the bottom, and you can also see in the notification. Once the Android is built and debug, you can view it in a running Android device. So this is our Hello Android application. And in case if you want to stop the debug, then you can click on the red color icon and our application will shut down. So these are the basics on how to navigate through the Android Studio. And in case if you want to connect your physical device to the Android, then you can connect it, and on the top there is an option to choose running device or the available device. In case if you connect physical device, your device will appear here under the running device. But as of now, I am running an Android virtual device, so Android virtual device is available here. And of course, you can also connect your real device using Wi-Fi in case if you don't want to use USB for connection. I will recommend to go through the Android Studio and explore Android Studio in your own way and in your own time, because there are a lot of things in Android Studio such as Google logging, settings, SDK manager, project structure, etc, etc. Now let's move on to the project structure and understand the project structure of your Android project. Now let's understand the Android project structure. Now here I have made a simple T diagram to explain you the Android project structure in extremely simple and easy way. When I say Android project structure, you can see the Android project structure on this project window. There are multiple files and folders here. Now to understand these multiple files and folder, it is very easy. Let's break this down entire project into its fundamentals. Here are simple fundamentals. In every Android project, there is a module, there is a project Gradle files, and there are other configuration files. So when it comes to the module, there are three types of modules in Android project. First is the app module, second is the library module, and third is a feature module. And each and every of this module contain these files: Gradle file at the module level, manifest file, and then the Java or Kotlin code file, as well as the resources folder. Resources folder will contain images, strings, and many other things which might be needed for the applications. So let's open Android Studio and I will show you. Here as you can see, this is the app. So this is the app module. In case if I want to add more modules, I can add this by clicking on the plus icon and click on the module. Like I said, there are three types of module: Android app module, library module, and then there are many other feature modules such as Android native library, dynamic feature, car, OS, television, or simple library modules. So let's go back to our main app module. Inside this app module, there is a manifest file. So Android manifest file is important because this Android manifest file tells the Android operating system what is the name of the application, and then other configurations such as theme file, whether it is exported or not, and the icon, and should it allowed to backup, and many other things, including the permissions and the intent filter. And then here is the folder where we store all the Java or Kotlin code. Inside this folder there is a unique package name. Now you can see there are three types of unique package name. First is the simple com.devesh.hello world app, and second is the same package name but there is an Android test written, and third is the same package name with the test written. Now these two bottom here are for the testing purpose. Now we will not go deep into the testing, as initially you will not need this, but in future I will definitely teach you how to use this testing one. As a beginner, our focus should be on this primary folder. Inside this main project package name folder com.devesh.hello world application, there is a main activity.kt file. This is a Kotlin file. This contains the main code of our application, and there are other UI and theme color Kotlin file application. Then there is the res folder. This res folder stands for the resources. This contains all the resources such as Drawables. And then there is a Mipmaps folder which also contains images. Now as you can see, these images files are divided into multiple DPI. For HDPI phone, this image file will be used. For extremely high definition, this image file will be used. Inside the values folder, we will store all our values such as color values, any variables such as app name, inside string.xml, and then there is a themes.xml file in which we will store the theme values. And then there is a XML folder in which we store other data such as backup and other rules. Now as of now we don't need this for building basic application, but this is nice to have. Now let's look at the Gradle scripts. Inside the tab Gradle scripts, as you can see there are multiple Gradle files. First is the Gradle file on the project level. Second is the Gradle file on the module level, and then there is a settings.gradle file. The first file build.gradle.kts, this is a project level file. As you can see, it is written project. So what this file does is whatever plugins or dependency which you add here, these plugins and dependency will be applicable to on entire project. And then there is another Gradle file which is the module. So this module level Android Gradle file, this will contain all the essential information such as compile SDK as well as plugins and then other configuration applications such as Android application ID, minimum SDK, version code, version name. This also contains the build types. You can also mention your own build type. There is by default a release build type here, and if you scroll down below, there are dependencies. Now these dependencies, whatever dependencies which you add here, these will be only and only applicable to your app module, which is here. These dependencies won't be applicable on project level. In case if you want to add dependencies on project level, then you have to add it in the project level Gradle file. If you want to locate the project level Gradle file, you can right click on this, click on open in Explorer. So this is our Android project folder. Here you can see this build.gradlefile.kts. So this is the project folder of our Android application. As you can see, this file, this is the same Gradle file which we previously seen here. This is the project level Gradle file. In case if you want to see the app module level Gradle file, inside the app folder there is another Gradle file. This Gradle file is on the app level module, which we have seen here. There is another Gradle file which is a settings.gradle.kts. So this is the settings file in which you have to add other plugin dependencies such as Google, Maver, Central, as well as the project name, and you can also include which module to add inside this project. This app word stands for the folder name app. This is the app folder. That last line tells the Gradle scripts that we have to include this folder as a module level in our project, which is this module. There are many other configuration file in Android project too. Example is the libs.versions.toml. This is the version catalog file. As you can see, it is written in the bracket. So what this file does is, this file stores all the libraries, plugins and other things along with their version name, and whatever plugins or dependencies or libraries which we use in our Android project, all of those are properly mentioned here, and then we will refer these dependencies in our Gradle file. Example, here in the dependencies implementation, there is a libs. So libs stands for the libraries in the .toml file, and next is the androidx.core.ktx. So this stands for the name here, androidx-core.ktx. Instead of dot, it is written dash. Whenever we add dash, the dash is by default referred as a dot. Let me show you an example. Here Android X dash compose dash bomb means inside the dependencies you can add libs.android x compose.bomb. The same thing, but instead of dash we use dot here while referring these dependencies. So that's it for today for exploring Android Studio and the project structure of the Android application. If you like this video, make sure you watch the entire playlist which I have made on fundamentals of Android app development. This is the entire tutorial or the course which teach you the fundamentals which are important for building Android applications. The link to the playlist is given in the description below. Make sure you check it out and keep learning Android app development. With that said, have a nice day and bye bye. See you in the next video.